If manifestation has ever felt random or left you wondering what you're missing, you're in the right place. Welcome to Beyond the Vision Board, where we stop treating manifestation like a trend and start treating it like a system. This podcast cuts through the fluff and focuses on what actually creates change. I'm your host, Heather Robinson. Ready? Let's dive in. Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Beyond the Vision Board. I am so excited that you're here. I'm thrilled to have this first episode going live and that you are listening to it and you are joining in on this conversation all around manifestation. It is coming up to the end of January here. We are due a big snowstorm about to start any moment. We're back fully into the swing of routines with my older daughter at school, my younger daughter back to preschool. And just back into the swing of things. I hope your new year has started off great as well. And that excitement that you probably felt on January 1st or December 31st is still with you today. And you are still excited about everything that you are working on this year. I saw this stat the other day and it stuck with me. It was saying how 88% of people who set New Year's resolutions or goals for themselves, by the end of January, they've already quit on that goal. 88% have already, at this point of the year, given up on that resolution or that goal that they had for themselves for this year. And I thought that was such a high number. And it makes sense, right? Because a lot of people view their New Year's resolutions or their goals like my 4-year-old daughter viewed her birthday wish last weekend. She turned 4. And when she was blowing out her candles on her cake and we're saying, like, make a wish, people think that they can just make this wish, put it out to the universe, and then it's just going to pop into their life. And maybe that'll work for you. But for most people, that's not how manifestation works, right? So this topic all around manifestation is something that I've been obsessed with for quite a few years now. And I'm excited to share more around this topic. I'm excited to talk about so much of the misinformation that is out there now, especially with short form videos on TikTok, on Instagram. There's just so much misinformation. There's so many people giving all these techniques and fun manifestation things that you can do, the rituals, the mindset tricks, the techniques, which I get it. Like, it makes sense because those things are easy to talk about, to teach. And they feel good. They feel productive. They feel like you have some control over your life. But in reality, those techniques and those rituals, none of that is going to move the needle for you. None of that is going to help you manifest anything unless you understand how manifestation works on a deeper level. Because those are just surface level things. But if the underneath the surface is still the same as it always has been, you're going to continue getting the same results. 95% of your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions are the same as they were yesterday. 95% are the same. So if you're continuing to think the same thoughts, to believe the same things, to identify in the same identity as you did yesterday, doesn't matter how many times you look in the mirror and say, I am wealthy, I am rich, I can do whatever. You're not going to get that into your life. You're going to continue having the same patterns showing up day after day after day. So when I was thinking about starting this podcast, I was really intentional about how long I wanted the episodes to be. Because although there's so much to be said about manifestation and so much that we can talk about to really explore it and use it to its full capacity, being overwhelmed with information isn't good for anybody. Right? If I'm overwhelming you with information every episode, you're not going to actually act on it. So I have intentionally decided that each episode is only going to be around 10 minutes long. And the purpose of that is to give you one thing, one thought, one action, one mindset shift, one thing to look out for in your life that you can then go out and think about and notice it in your life or apply it in your life and actually start seeing some results. Actually start being aware of how you are creating your life, because you are. Whether you're aware of it or not, every single moment you are manifesting something into your life. And that's for the good, the bad, the ugly, no matter what, right? And once we realize that, once we become aware that we are creating all of our surroundings, it becomes so much more fun, right? It becomes fun to use manifestation because it becomes this game that you can play with. The first thing to understand with manifestation is it's not about getting something. I know we all want to get more money or get that job or find that perfect partner, but the more you try to get something in your life and force it, it's just not going to show up. That's just not how manifestation works. Instead, it's about figuring out what you are reinforcing internally. Figuring out where is your mind going whenever you are just alone with your thoughts? What are you expecting to happen? Your internal world is constantly trying to get you back to a place of safety. And safety doesn't necessarily mean what's best for you or even what you want. It just means what's familiar or what's believable in your life. So if you are constantly telling yourself, oh, this is so hard, or bad things happen to me, or I just have the shittiest luck in the world, that is going to be continuously reinforced. That's what you're going to keep seeing every single day because your subconscious thinks that that's normal. That is normal for you. And no matter what you say you want, your subconscious is going to continue bringing you back to what is normal, what is safe for you. And what is safe for you is the thing that is replayed the most often. That's exactly why so many people will hear about this cool manifestation technique that they might see on TikTok or read about in a book, and they'll try it. They'll say, like, I did the visualization, or I did my affirmations. I stood in the mirror and I did these affirmations every single day and nothing changed. And that's because underneath the surface, if your thoughts and your beliefs and your identity are continuing to stay the same, doesn't matter how many times you look in the mirror and you say, I am rich, I've met the love of my life, whatever it is, it's not going to happen. If you think about people who win the lottery, it's the same idea. There's this statistic, and I think it was like 70% of people who win the lottery end up going broke within a few years. And it relates back to the same thing about your identity, about what's normal for you, about what you're comfortable with, about what your baseline is. There was this guy in the UK, I think his name was Michael Carroll, and when he was 19, he won almost 10 million pounds. And at that time, he became this like little celebrity he had his 15 minutes of fame, right? And he was doing all these interviews and he was buying houses and he was partying and he was doing all these things. And he lost it all. He lost all of his money. He ended up becoming homeless and going bankrupt and losing everything. Somebody wrote an autobiography about him and they titled it, Be Careful What You Wish For. And I thought that was so interesting because so many people wish they had more money or they wish they had this career or whatever. But if they don't become the person internally with their identity, their beliefs, their thoughts, they don't become the person who would have that in their life, they're going to throw it all away. They're going to waste it. It's not going to last. And this is where so many people go wrong with manifestation. See, your body doesn't care what you're wishing for. Your nervous system and your brain, it's going to respond to what you have practiced, what you have rehearsed time and time again, whatever you thought about most often, whatever you feel the most deeply, whatever you're expecting to happen to you, whatever you feel is normal, that is what's going to show up in your life. Understanding your normal is going to be what changes everything for you. So as you're listening to this podcast, as you're listening to this episode, I want you to think about one area of your life that you would love to be able to apply manifestation to actually create a different reality for yourself. So whether that's your bank account or your relationships, your career, whatever, think about one area that you would love to be able to manifest a different reality for yourself. And I want you to get really honest with yourself and think about what is your normal in that specific topic right now. So what are you expecting to happen? What's your default setting when you think about that? So for example, if we use money, when you open up your bank account, are you expecting to feel stressed? Are you expecting to feel sort of tensed up when you think about paying your bills? Is your default setting one of scarcity and thinking, oh shit, I better not spend money on that because I don't know if I have enough coming in to replace that money that's going out? Having this understanding around your normal is going to explain why you continue to get the results that you continue to get. Every outcome that we have in our life, good and bad, comes back to our identity, and what we believe to be true about ourselves. When you start here by having this awareness of yourself and of your results, manifestation stops feeling so random and it starts feeling understandable and like you are in control of creating the outcomes that you want. If you take nothing else from this episode, please take this final thought. Manifestation starts working when you become aware of what you've been unconsciously creating, because you can't change what you don't notice. If, as you're listening to this, you realize that you want more structure around manifestation, if you don't want just a brain dump of techniques, but you actually want like a structured transformational process to follow in order to manifest, I do have a new manifestation program coming out soon. I'm keeping a priority list for people who want early access when it's ready to go. The link will be in the show notes. Until next time, thank you for listening to episode 1 of Beyond the Vision Board, and I can't wait to talk to you next week.